Hey everyone, I'm here with our April 2025 release 2. This is called the Black Oubliette. Meant to be a smaller scene when I started it, and it's kind of turned into something a bit bigger, and I kind of made it better than I was intending to from the start, so I guess that's a good thing. Bad thing is that it took a little longer. So I'm going to run you through the scene quickly. A lot is going on here. You can see just from this image here, we have a whole bunch of controls around the outside of the scene, and there's some other ones on the inside. I'm going to take you through what it is. It's a 6-level scene, so we got an upper level, our entrance level, our level 3, what we call level 3, level 2, our oubliette level, which is, I guess would be our default level 1, and then our base, which would be level 0. The idea behind the scene is that it is some sort of magical prison meant to hold, your most dangerous type of inmate. Let's get to it. We're going to start on the entrance level. This is where your pieces would likely be entering. Up here at the top of the scene, immediately they would be confronted by a couple of doors that we're going to swing open. Here we have a little notice saying that there's an exit slab. As you enter through the scene here, PCs would enter into the room. At the start, peering into this room, there is a secret kind of peephole from this secret guard room number B. In order to activate the slab that would slide in here to stop people from escaping, you would need to pull this lever here on the wall. So it can be activated in 2 ways. PCs can double click on the interaction point, or you can double right click on it, and you should have heard that sound. And now you can see that there is a wall in the way. And if you go to your walls, the wall is fully intact there now. And then if you want to remove the slab, you can just double right click this again. And again, PCs can also pull the slab back up by pulling on the lever as well. So this level is our entrance level. Contains mostly just these curving hallways here and this guard room in the middle. You'll notice in the middle of the guard room, there is this kind of central shaft. This shaft runs the length of the entrance level, level 3, 2, and down to the oubliette. So I'd imagine guards here, when they're called down to the oubliette level, could just kind of grab onto this pole and slide all the way down very quickly. It's kind of a hidden secret way of moving around. These winding passageways will really slow any escapees or rescuers down as they have to go through a longer, less direct path. So that's our hidden guard room. You'll notice these secret doors can be opened and closed. There's another one over here. It can be opened from the secret guard room. This leads into kind of the top half of this guard room on the left. So this guard room is actually down on level 3, but this room would open up 20 feet above. And then there's this secret door here where the guards could either look down at the guard room, jump down as another way of getting to another location more quickly, or could even just attack people from up here, their ranged weapons. You see it doesn't close properly if I use the wall, so what you really need to do is use the buttons that I placed beside the wall to open and close it. Just a single click. Same with the secret wall here that leads out to the passageways. You can just open it using the buttons, close it using the buttons. I'll point out here too, all of our lights are again activated by double clicks. We can just double click on them. Anybody can do that and either light the torches or light the braziers. Like I mentioned, this shaft descends through all the levels down to the oubliette level, so I'll just quickly run you through that before we go up to the upper level. So if we just keep our focus here in the middle of the scene, we go down to 3, we can see the shaft and the ladder are still there. Down to 2, the shaft and the ladder are still there. And then down to the oubliette, here's the shaft, and then a secret door over here on the left to get out of it. And we'll get to this part when we get down to this level. So we're back at our entrance level. You can see all the different stairs. These lead up here, and then the other 3 sets of stairs head down to the level 3 level. So if you were entering through the main entrance and you decide to turn left and head up the stairs here, we would then go to our upper level, mostly circular shaped level. We can see there's some cells lining the hallway here, and then there's another curving passageway that goes back down to the entrance level. While I'm here, I'll just point out, so all the cells, as expected, open and close. Another feature here is the cells are also customizable. There's 4 different options for cell doors. To cycle through the options, all you need to do is double right click on the doors, and it'll switch through all the different door variations that you can have. So depending on how you want your scene to look, you can put in the different doors here. So I kind of put these ones all uniformly the same, but you could change them. In other locations, I've put in other doors. So if we were climbing up these stairs from the entrance level, we could walk all the way around here, then come back down to our entrance level again. which would be here on the entrance level. From here, we can see we can go down 2 more ways, and then from the entrance, we could have turned right instead and headed down some stairs as well. So there's actually 3 stairways going down to the level 3, as well as being able to jump down into this guard from above. So we go down to level 3 now. There's a few things we might want to look at here. So again, we have our shaft in the middle that runs up to our secret guard room at the top. All of our doors for the cells are again customizable here. You just need to double right click. This here comes down from the entrance level. Obviously some cells at the top, lightable brazier, and then we have this Iron Maiden which can be opened and closed. So right now it's open. If you click the other button, you can just close the Iron Maiden. Pull in a token here. Iron Maiden here looks correct. Now if we were to open the Iron Maiden, you can see the walls have all updated, so it's blocking a larger view, and then our tokens can actually go inside of it if you want them to, and then we could close the Iron Maiden. So now you could have a creature hidden in here if your players are just kind of fooling around with the Iron Maiden, want to know what's going on. Maybe it pops open, the creature could pop out of it and attack. So we just open it again, take our token, and move him out. I'll note that this tile here for the Iron Maiden is actually overhead, so it kind of appears over top of your tokens. That's how you can hide something inside of it. So one little feature there for you. You're going to continue down the hallway here. You can come into the lower guard room. We have an overhead tile for this cage. So if you walk into the cage, your token will appear underneath of it. Then if we open the door to the top room here, we just have another torture chamber. See various torture equipment lined, some blood and guts lying around the room, so obviously not a very pleasant place. Those are the main features on level 3. You can see there's another curving hallway that will curve down to level 2, down here to level 2, so this would be coming directly from the entranceway. We can curve all the way around, head down another set of stairs, and then this would be from a different portion of the entrance level. Okay, so let's go down to level 2, running through the options there. So on the right side of the screen, we can see these glowing pink wavy lines. This is what I consider to be a magical cell, so something that'll be held there by magic. I call them magical shackles. So we can zoom in a little bit just to get a better view of it. If we want to turn the magical shackles off, all we have to do is hit the toggle magic shackles button. So we click that. Sound should be played and the image disappears. If you click it again, the sound will play again and it should reappear. And then you have your magical shackles. So in the middle here, I would put a token if I wanted something imprisoned, like a demon or a devil, maybe a powerful mage or sorcerer, psionicist. Something could be locked in here by these magical shackles. Perhaps it's also a stasis chamber, so maybe somebody who's very old has been trapped there for a long time. Then across the door, it's not a regular doorway. Instead, I've put in these magic bars guarding the way into the magical shackle room. So in order to just open this door, you can use the control panel right beside the door. If you open it, you can hear the sound play, kind of dissipating magic, and then they disappear. And if you hit the close magic cell door, same thing, but in reverse. Now the doors are in place and the secret door that blocks entrance is closed. Well, as a secret door, it is invisible, so players will still be able to see through it. They just can't move their tokens through. So that's the magical cell. We then come to our main room. This is going to be what I call the bridge room, right in the middle here over the lava. We have 2 rooms here, MC1 and MC2. The MC stands for Magic Circle. So you have Magic Circle 1, Magic Circle 2, and then down on the Oubliette level up here is actually Magic Circle 3. So these can be used to activate the bridge that would appear to span the bridge room, span the lava there, and we can create the bridge in 2 different ways. What I'll do first is I'm going to turn off this automatic bridge activation controls, just turn it off, and then we can see each of these magic circles has its own control panel in the margin beside it. So here Magic Circle 1 is MC1. If we want to manual rune controls, Magic Circle 1, we can turn them on. If we turn them on, we can see the runes start to glow as well as the crystals here, meaning in my mind that this side had been activated. Scroll over to Magic Circle 2, we can see its control panel in the right margin. Magic Circle 2 is over here, so if we want to activate it, we can just turn it on manually. So this is the manual way of functioning the bridge room. So So those are two ways that we can activate MC1 and MC2 manually. Now we can turn those off and the lights go away. If we want to use the automatic way of activating the bridge, what we can do is turn on automatic activation in the bottom under automatic bridge activation controls. If we now go up to MC1, we can take a token here, and as soon as it steps into the circle, it turns on all the lights for the magic circle 1. And you might notice that these stone tiles on the level below have started to glow as well. And if you pay extra close attention, you'll see other stone tiles in the wall here which are not glowing yet. That's because magic circle 1 only activates those on the left. Magic circle 2 would activate those on the right. So we can just touch our token into that circle, and you can see all the tiles on the right side have now started to glow. So those are all the bridge pieces, but the bridge is not yet formed. The reason being that in order for the bridge to form, a token would have to step into magic circle 3. Now, how is this done? Well, when we step our tokens into the magic circles, they would move these counters 1, 2, and 3 down 1 square. So the magic 1 circle counter would move down when the token steps into magic circle 1. When it steps into the hash tile below, it would force this number 4 down 1 square as well. Same thing for the magic circle 2 and magic circle 3. So that would be 3 steps. So if our number 4 normally starts up here, after 3 steps, it would land in this hash tile, and then you can see 3 magic circles have been activated and the bridge would form. So why don't we do that quickly? We'll go down to the Oubliette level, move our token into the circle, and we can see the bridge now forms. All those runes that started to glow in the walls when we stepped in the magic circles all now get pulled into the room. And this happens because as soon as we stepped into magic circle 3, you might have noticed now the number 3 has dropped down 1 square, which then forced token 4 to drop down 1 square as well and activate the bridge formation. And now we have a bridge here that a player could just walk across to get to the other side. And this, of course, being the Oubliette, where somebody would be left with no way of getting back across. Now, if you want to reset the automatic activation, you just hit the reset button down here. Reset automatic activation. All the counters reset automatically, and all the pieces are put back into their starting places, and all the lights for the magic runes are turned off. Now, if we are using automatic activation, and our players step into here, and now our token is moved down here in our counters control panel. If they don't progress through the dungeon quickly enough for you, you can reset just this one portion of the magic circles by hitting the automatic activation magic circle 1 reset button. If you do that, all the lights that they turned on, or all the glowing they turned on for the magic circle, as well as the runes and the stones, dissipates, and the token is moved back up into its starting position. So effectively, none of the activation counters has been triggered yet. Here's down to the Oubliette level now. I'm going to show you other options you have for your bridge here. So I went through automatic activation, I hope, where you have to have a token, enter all 3 of the magic circles, and then the bridge will form automatically for you. That's only going to happen again if you come down to this red control panel on the bottom and make sure that the automatic activation is turned on. When it's turned off, all that happens is our magic circles are now deactivated. So it kind of short circuits the automatic activation. So if we step a token into them, they no longer automatically trigger. We want to turn them back on. Just hit the on button, and now when we move a token, the lights form. So when you enter Magic Circle 3, we haven't really talked about Magic Circle 3 yet. When you enter this one, you can see the runes at the bridge stubs turn on, whereas the other ones light up the bridge pieces that have been lodged into the walls. And then Magic Circle 3 has its own control panel on the left, so we can reset it if we need to. Or we can turn them on and off manually with these buttons here. Okay, so automatic bridge activation controls, we want them turned on if you want the bridge to trigger using the magic circles. And if we want to use the bridge stuff manually, we can turn it off. So if you had a token here and you wanted the magic circle to be activated in a different way, maybe they had to bring a relic to it or cast a spell within the circle, then you could activate it manually once they've done that, and just hit the on button and then the lights turn on. However, you can do that for both, or for all three of them. You can turn on all the lights if you want, but then you'll notice that the bridge isn't forming. So how do we now form this bridge if we're using the manual controls? Well, we have the manual full bridge controls here in the bottom of the scene margins. So we have a form entire bridge button, a break entire bridge button, and then an all runes off and on button. So if you hit on for all runes, you can see all the runes on the stone blocks around the outside turn on. If we hit the form entire bridge button, it'll form the bridge for you. And if we hit break entire bridge, it'll separate the bridge for you. Like so. Okay, so that's one way that you could manually activate the bridge or deactivate the bridge. Another option is you might see these numbers beside some of the bridge pieces. Here's the 8, so this is bridge piece 8. Here's the 9, so this is bridge piece 9. I have individual bridge piece controls in the left margins at the bottom and in the right margins at the bottom. So how do these work? So we'll look at piece 8, I guess. So piece 8 is down here. You can see 8 lodged into the wall at that location. So we can toggle the runes just for that one piece. So there we go, they're off. If we click it again, now we can turn them back on. We can also show the piece. So right now it's being shown, but if we want to, we could also hide the piece. So now the piece has disappeared and it will not appear when the bridge is formed. So maybe we don't like how I've formed the bridge. Maybe you want to have it look a bit more rickety or fall apart. You can always hit the hide piece for an individual piece of the bridge. And then lastly, I'm going to just show it again. Turn the runes on. So we're looking at this piece here. I'm just going to zoom out a little bit. That's piece 8. So if we hit the form button beside piece 8, it will only move that one piece to the middle of the scene as to form the bridge. So if you want to, maybe the bridge doesn't even form wholly, maybe it's just the floating blocks across the chasm, and then your players have to figure out how to navigate jumping from piece to piece to get to the other side. So I might just put in, so that was piece 8, I might put in piece 1. On the right side, we have the right blocks, so I'll put in piece 5, and now we can see piece 5 is just kind of floating there, and maybe piece 3. So you can make it kind of whatever sort of bridge you want it to be. I'm just going to form the entire bridge here quickly to show you what you can do with the hide pieces. So now this entire bridge in its formed shape. But maybe we don't like that. Maybe we want to look a bit more rickety, a bit more risky. We can just start hiding pieces. So I can hide that piece. I think I'll hide this piece down here. And maybe I'll also hide piece 3. Okay, so now our bridge isn't fully formed. They're going to have to jump across part of it. But the cool thing here is now that I've hidden those pieces, and I break the bridge back, or put the bridge back with the walls. When I form it, those pieces will remain hidden. So now it looks a bit more natural when you're forming that certain parts are broken, and you can't tell because they're not showing in the walls either. Just another way I thought might be interesting to use the bridge. The last way you might want to do it, I'm just going to reset it. When you hit the reset button in the automatic bridge activation controls, it will set all of the pieces to visible again. So now when we form the bridge, our bridge is formed, but maybe our PCs travel all the way across, and for some high drama, you decide that the bridge begins to collapse whenever they get to the side, find whatever's here, rescue whoever's there. Maybe the bridge starts to collapse, so if you want to do that, you could just start hiding pieces. So I might hide piece 9. I'll just hide it. And now all of a sudden you can say, oh, that piece dropped into lava, and your players are like, crap, we got to start moving, and they start running back, and you can start dropping other pieces behind them as they flee. Gets to here, drop another piece, just demonstrating like that how you might want to use it to maybe add a bit of drama to the scene when you're running through it. Okay, so that's kind of how the bridge works. Just going to run over the last couple of things here on the Oubliette level. So we're set here. Down here at K, at the bottom of the scene, across the bridge. This is meant to be an Oubliette, so this would essentially be a place where someone is left to wallow alone with no way of escaping. But if you want to have it something a bit more epic, maybe this could be a set of doors leading to a treasure chamber or to another scene, to the 9 hells maybe. You can hit this toggle exit doors, and instead of being an Oubliette, this can now be an exit to some other scene. So just a quick toggle to allow you to have a different use for this level of the scene. Up here, we have statues in the walls. Statue 1, Statue 2. They each have an option of what you might want to put into those locations. So right now we have a brazier out. You can have a brazier lit. You could put a warrior, a lion, or have it empty. And it's the same for both sides. But you can mix and match if you want. So maybe you want a warrior and a lion. Whatever you like. The doors again here are going to be working. We have this secret door. So we have some secret door buttons up here. Open it. The door will open and allow access to this guard shaft, which will run back up to the entrance level and the secret guard room. Players can double click on the interaction point to move up the ladder here to climb all the way up to the guard room. Level transitions are indicated by these stair symbols. So if we take a token, take this token, you can move up the stairs. Now he's just in the next room. You can keep on climbing down. See, now he's at 20 feet. Hit this one, down to 10 feet. And down to 0 feet. So that's what those little icons are there for, just to indicate to people where they will transition between levels. And then lastly, we have our base level. Only thing we can do here is we can cycle the base image. There's only 2 images. There's lava, and then there's what I call endless depths. So just a chasm leading into darkness below, and that can look kind of cool too. So just form the entire bridge again. You could have this bridge form over an endless cavern, an endless chasm. Now you might be thinking, well, this bridge is kind of pointless. My players have flying or dimension door and can just zip over to the far side of the Oubliette quickly enough. Well, I have a solution to that in a way. I kind of felt when I was designing this that it kind of looked like sigils and magic symbols, the hallways. And so in my mind, this entire complex was built to inhibit teleportation magic or flying. So when you're down here in this room, I would probably rule that flying, teleportation magic, levitation, that sort of stuff cannot be used in this room. I'd probably have an epic battle here, so I'd probably want my evocation magics to still be usable, but the flies, dimension doors, teleports wouldn't work in this room, just to add that little extra element of danger. And you can even describe it to someone who succeeds an Arcana check to a sufficient degree that they recognize that the entire complex itself has been shaped into these kind of sigil-like symbols in order to provide that protection to the Oubliette level. That's my idea of it anyway. Okay, so that's the Black Oubliette. I hope you guys like the scene. I'm really happy with how the bridge has turned out with all the customization we can do. Originally I had planned for the scene to essentially just be this room, but I ended up expanding it like I always do stupidly. So I apologize for that, but hopefully you guys like it and think it's kind of cool. And you can even break separate parts off if you want, using the individual controls, which I just think was really happy when it started working and looked as good as it does. I'll talk to you guys soon. Hope you like it. Thanks everyone. Bye for now.